Just T for two and a two for tea. Just me for you and you for me alone.
Hello, chickies. Welcome back to Tea Time with Mrs. Washington. Oof, little drippy drippy. Got too excited with the sippy sippy. Anyways, the topic for today is regarding what it's like being in a relationship with a trans person. Person is person. On this planet, generally, most people have a gender, but some people don't. And if we're able to look past our fleshy bodies and the way that society has conditioned us to fit into our perfect little gender boxes, people are people. When I'm alone, I don't feel like I have a gender. I'm just me. I don't feel feminine. I don't feel masculine. I'm just doing my thing when I'm by myself, and I don't have my gender or my sexuality reflected upon me from the outside world, like creepy cis guys oogling at me, or girls being like, oh my god, your hair, or whatever bullshit. You know what I mean? If I'm just alone, I'm me, and I'm completely genderless. So technically, being in a relationship with a trans person means dick all, because that trans person is just a person. It's a person like any other person. Who the fuck cares? You're with that person. That's one take on it, and that's part of my take on what it's like being with a trans person, because I'm just with someone that I love and care about, and who gives a fuck how that person identifies or whatever. But we live on this planet, we live in this world, and we are reflections of how society sees us, most of us. So I would say what it is like to be with a trans person, particularly a trans man, would be something like this. Because we're new to the journey, and because my trans boyfriend has only just sort of started to get into the groove of telling people that he wants to be identified as he wants to be called he and him, and is now starting to actively correct people on what appropriate pronouns should be used. Thankfully, he's giving me the go-ahead to do that too. So I don't have to sit back and bite my tongue and be like, that motherfucker isn't a she, that's a he, stop calling him a lady. All that shit. So yeah, so that's nice. Also, it feels great being in a relationship with a trans man, because it's like I'm dating a cis man who's woke. Did I just say it? I fucking said it. I don't mean it, but I kind of mean it. He's aware. He's evolved. He's awake. He's fucking woke. What a disgusting fucking phrase. People who use that shit, they should be taken out back behind the shed and shot. Fucking woke. Fucking bae. Fucking all that bullshit. Can you just put them all on an island so they can just all call each other these names that have no place in the dictionary, and then just have like the ocean continue to rise and then the island just gets swallowed by these fucking woke baes? Fuck! Jesus, can you... These woke baes on fleek? Please! Please! If I found these people, if they were in my presence, and I had access to these people who said these things, my sociopathy would just be taken to the next level, and I would become a rampage killer. Anyways, back to topic. I feel like I'm dating a cis man who has been awakened. He is aware. And the reason why, and this is very easy to explain, is that he understands me because a part of him is female in the psychological, emotional sense, which is not what any cis man can say. That's a very, very special element to trans men that trans men have that I don't think trans men will ever lose. And so for any person who is a partner of a trans man who identifies as female, they have that, like, the secret key to get into your emotions and into your heart and into your brain, because they were kind of partially, in sort of like a fragmented way, there once. So that's pretty special. And because of that, trans men, a lot of them, are more sensitive than cis men. They're more, I personally think that they're a little bit more intelligent on the EQ scale. But maybe that's just me. They're definitely fucking more intuitive. Jesus Christ, H Christ. They are way more intuitive than your typical cis man when it comes to dealing with women. Way more respectful. Yeah, cis men gonna be nasty when they wanna be. But you know, we like that shit sometimes. But he understands me in a different way. And that's great too. So, I don't know. When it comes to being in a relationship with a trans man, I don't find it all that different from being in a relationship with a cis man, except for the fact that it's better. In so many different ways, which I've already talked about in other videos. It's 2.0. It's 2.0. And there are things that you need to adjust to if you're going to be with a trans man. But they're easy things to adjust to if you weigh the pros and the cons. And maybe with some trans men, the cons definitely outweigh the pros, depending on the person. And that has nothing to do with the gender. That has to do with whether or not that motherfucker's an asshole or a fucktard. You know, that's like a jerk. That's a shithead. So those motherfuckers, like, they're lumped into a category that is not exclusive to trans people. That's just a whole bunch of fucking assholes. But if you happen to not have one of those assholes and you have a legitimate trans man who's a good man, then yeah, they're next level. They're wonderful. Being in a relationship with them is just like romantic and squishy and loving and sexy and good. And so that's great. I don't have any complaints so far. I'm liking everything that's happening. And that's that. So. Tea time with Mrs. Washington has concluded. Tune in next time to I don't know what. But turn on and tune in to find out. See ya.
A lot of girls for you and a lot of boys for me. Can't you see how I